everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Soap Making from Scratch, coming to you from my kitchen. Why am I in my kitchen? Because you are going to need a designated area to make your soap. Even if you're just making it for your own use, you're going to need just one special place to make your soap in. So this is my kitchen. So we've got Eden's Secret on the TV, just for this video. I don't watch myself. And all of that end there is like the cooking end. Beware, big warning, if you're going to make soap or start a business making soap, every area of your house is probably going to have like boxes and packaging. You're never going to have a tidy house ever again. So this is my area where I do the dishes, and then you see I've got an island here, but that's where I prepare all of my food. No good over here near the sink. So probably the best area to make soap for me is going to be in this area. Obviously I don't need to make soap there because I've got a special soap room for making soap, but you're going to need a designated area that is away from everything else. One other warning is no pets allowed, no children allowed, and if you're going to make soap, what you're going to need more than anything is some passion, patience and practice. Nice and quiet, somewhere you feel really comfortable, and just so you can absolutely enjoy the process. So I just wanted to show you that in this kitchen, this is probably where I would make soap now. And you don't need a great big area for soap making. Even half this would do. But you will need a socket for your blender. But that's about all really. You'll just need one socket for your blender. Is there anything else electrical that we use that you would need a socket for? I can't think of anything right off the top of my head, but if you can, write it down in the comments below this video. So now you've got your designated area, we're going to move on to the next stage. Okay, so here's a disclaimer. Before we move on and make any soap, it's your responsibility, not mine, to make sure that you make sure all your safety precautions are in place. Make sure you read up about Lye safety, and there might be blender safety out there, I'm not sure. So just want to talk about the most important two today. The first one being your Lye safety. So sodium hydroxide has been used in cosmetics, the most common being for its use in the production of handmade soap, where sodium hydroxide is used in the saponification of oils. Sodium hydroxide, lye, mixed with oils, goes through a chemical process overnight usually, and forms what we know as soap. The purity for any lye or sodium hydroxide, also known as caustic soda, needs to be 99% pure. So if you're buying any, make sure, especially online, make sure it says that it's 99% pure. Saying that, I have bought I've bought them from soap suppliers, I've bought it from shops, and it wasn't 99% pure. And you know how I knew? Because when I mixed it with the water, there were still granules left in the bottom, and then when I used that in making the soap was very soft, meaning there wasn't enough lye in there to saponify all of the oils. So I can't say that every supplier is going to have the perfect stuff, but if you're buying from a soap supplier, there should be 99% pure. But I guess it just depends where they're buying it from and what the manufacturer's doing. Okay, so the product form It's usually supplied in a pearl form, small pearls and sometimes flakes. When you're using sodium hydroxide, caustic soda or lye for cold process soap making, it's important to always add the sodium hydroxide to the water. So you'll weigh out your water, and then you'll weigh out your sodium hydroxide, and then you'll pour your sodium hydroxide into your water. Never the other way around. Now I will show in a video soon. I know I've shown it on my channel before, but I will be showing it again when we actually start to physically make some soap for this Soap Making from Scratch series. So, important safety information for sodium hydroxide. Use sodium hydroxide when you will not be interrupted, so that your 100% concentration is focused on the use of sodium hydroxide. Keep any children, pets away from the area at all times. Have a source of water close by so that you can quick and easily rinse any spills. Now, if you've got a tap nearby, that's sufficient. Rinsing the sodium hydroxide off quickly with the water just gets rid of it as fast as you can. Yeah, it's funny because when you actually add water, sodium hydroxide to water, the sodium hydroxide heats up to a very high temperature, and then you've got to let it cool down. Well, you don't have to let it cool down before you make soap, but that's what we'll be doing. We'll be letting it cool right down to room temperature before we use it. Always mix it well in a well ventilated area, and mix as close to the point of use as possible to avoid spills. Wear goggles and gloves. So make sure you wear your goggles, make sure you wear your gloves. Wear gloves that travel sufficiently up your arm to avoid the sodium hydroxide getting trapped inside the glove and causing skin burns. Now, I've heard many soap makers say they're not affected when they get sodium hydroxide on the skin, and others say they're very affected. I'm somewhere in between. It doesn't sting like crazy. The only place it can be pretty uncomfortable is if it gets under my fingernails. And also, when you're washing the dishes, I've actually got it splashed up into my eye. That was pretty uncomfortable as well. So again, just make sure you rinse with lots and lots of water. Goggles are very important. Sodium hydroxide, and this is really sounds so scary, and it might put you off, but don't let it put you off. It says it can cause blindness if it gets into your eyes. Any spill on your skin and eyes should be flushed with water for 30 minutes. Large spills on both skin and eyes should seek immediate medical attention after flushing with water. And definitely do not take internally. Internal consumption of sodium hydroxide, caustic soda, lye can be fatal. Keep in a secure, locked location away from children and pets if you've got any. So basically, that is our introduction to sodium hydroxide, which you will know very well as lye. That tends to be the word we use in soap making for caustic soda and sodium hydroxide. So when you mix in your sodium hydroxide with water, you can do it in a heat safe jug like I have here, Pyrex. You can get plastic jugs to mix in. Usually the plastic jugs will have the number 5 in a triangle on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that one, but I'm just moving the jug so that you can hopefully see that number 5 is on there. I think a number 2 is alright as well. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but you're looking for heat safe jugs. If you type in and you're searching for any jugs that you're going to use in soap making, type in heat safe plastic jug or heat safe glass jug. Right, I think we've covered everything on the caustic soda front. I thought I would just show you what the granules look like by popping my goggles and my gloves on and just taking. You can wear a mask as well. Really good idea to wear a mask if you're not near the window. If you are near a window, for instance, my window is on the left hand side here, obviously over there. So I would always put my jug to the right hand side of myself so that any breeze coming in just blows the fumes that way and not into my face. So I'm just opening the bottle now, and then I'm just going to pour those granules into the jug so that you can see what they look like. The flakes, well, I'm sure you can guess what flakes look like. You know, your skin is nowhere near. Again, if you do get a granule on your skin, because when you pour the lye into the water, the fumes come up, and that can also evaporate a little bit of the lye off there, and that can actually stick to your skin. Or if you've got a long jumper, stick to your long jumper. And I don't wear long sleeves because I have a habit of rubbing my face a lot, and if I get any lye on my jumper and then I rub my head or my face or something, that lye is going to come straight off my jumper and onto my face. Now I know this all sounds really scary, but as long as you take the precautions, there's nothing scary about it at all. So please don't let this put you off in your soap making journey. The reason I say that is because so many people have said to me in the past that they're frightened to start making soap because of the use of lye. So I don't want you to be afraid. So please, let's all just make soap safely and remember that you are responsible for safety. Right, let's move on to the blender now. Okay, the next very important safety issue is using your blender. Now I haven't seen anyone discuss this before, but it's bound to be out there somewhere. The next very important safety issue is to talk about your hand blender. Now, obviously hand blenders are actually plugged in to a socket, so if you're going to touch your hand blender after you've used it, you need to make sure that that socket is turned off, okay, before you do anything. Right, so what we've got in the end here are incredibly sharp blades, and I have heard that people have chopped their fingers off with these blades. Most blenders have a connection area where you can separate the top from the bottom. This one is a twist. Some of them have a button that you press and the bottom just pops off. I actually prefer the ones with the buttons because you can just press that with your right hand, and you can lift the top straight off the bottom. These ones you've got to physically twist them, but you know, it doesn't matter what you use and you actually get used to it. I've always had the button pressing one, but now I'm using this twisting one. I'm so used to it I don't even notice. So yeah, that's the two most important safety issues that you need to be aware of. Don't forget that if you are going to learn to make soap, it is your responsibility, not mine, to make sure that you're following all safety procedures when making any products whatsoever. Just the same as if you were cooking, you would already know that you need to take safety precautions when you are making anything. Okay, so this is the type of mask I like to use. It's the Arco, but I cannot find them online for love nor money. But they're about £5 each, so if you can find something similar to that, they're really good quality for when you're mixing up your lye, and also if you're making bath bombs. Obviously this is nothing to do with bath bombs, soap making from scratch. So what I was going to do is I was going to join two separate videos into one and make that tonight's video. So the first half was going to be about the Lye and Blender Safety, and then the second half was going to be, I'm going to show you lots of different oils that can be, oils and butters that can be used in soap making. But I've decided usually that I would upload a video not tomorrow but the next day, so every other day. But I thought if I just end this video here, tomorrow night I can then upload the oils and butters video. So that's what we're going to do. So just want to thank everyone for watching again, as usual. And I just want to mention that I've created a join button on the channel. So if you want to become a member of the channel, I'd be really grateful. If you don't want to become a member of the channel, that's absolutely fine as well. Everybody's welcome here. Everybody is a valued member. Even if you just watch my videos, if you subscribe to my videos, if you comment on my videos, if you like my videos, if you share my videos, all of those help me to be more successful and be able to create more videos for you, so that I'm helping you and you're helping me. It works both ways, doesn't it? So so I just want to mention again, like I did in the first video, what we will at first be concentrating on is how to make soap from scratch for your own use. There's a lot to learn, and before we sell a single bar of soap, we need to make sure that we've come up with a perfect recipe. We want to feel confident in our soap making, and once our recipes are perfect, it is only then that we can move on to selling soap, and that will be further down in the series. The reason I say that is because when I started, I wanted to run before I could walk. I've always been like that. I just can't wait to get going. So I would create recipes, and then I would get the safety assessments done. And really, I ended up tweaking those recipes and improving on the recipes. So my advice to you to save money is wait until you've got a perfect recipe that you're very happy with, that reflects you and what you love and your personality and your style. And that's when you need to go out and buy your safety assessments. Of course, that's only if you're in the UK or the EU. Other countries around the world have other legislation that soap makers need to adhere to. I'm not going to talk too much about that because I don't know what goes on all the way around the world. But I will be able to touch on some of those details as we go through this process. But as I say, for now, we're not selling anything. All we're doing is creating some soaps, and then we'll move on to labelling and selling and all that kind of thing later on. But I'm sure that'll be a long way off. It might not be, but I don't know, we'll see. I know I haven't gotten that far through with my soap making from scratch series yet. So don't forget that we have a playlist. The link to that playlist is in the description below this video. It's called Soap Making from Scratch, and if you missed the first episode, both that episode and this episode are in that playlist. Link in the description box below the video. So don't forget to tune in tomorrow. I'm going to show you lots of different oils that we can use, oils and butters that we can use for actually making soap. And when we do make a soap, we're going to start with one oil only. Then the next video might be 2 oils, and the video after that might be 3 oils, etc, etc, etc. So we'll talk about the cheaper oils and the expensive oils in tomorrow's video. I'll see you then, everyone. I'm so grateful that you're all watching and you're all interested. All of you are valued members of this channel, whether you join the membership or not. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye for now.